Plattsmouth is our market analyst this week. The USDA's February crop report indicates U.S. farmers will face stiff competition from sizable harvests in South America. In its latest supply and demand numbers Tuesday, the agency increased the sizes of Argentina's corn and soybean crops, along with Brazil's output in corn. It also maintained its expectation for a record soybean crop of 100 million metric tons in Brazil. We talked with Roy on the afternoon of Wednesday, February 10th, about the situation in South America and the strength of the U.S. dollar, but we started by asking for his thoughts on recent price movements.
It's February, and we don't expect the markets to do good things in February, and they're certainly doing that. We've seen a little bit of a rally there last part of January and first part of February, and I say little bit, emphasizing on little. And then the last few days the markets have gone back down, and like I say, it's February. Seasonally, you look at the charts, long-term charts on corn and beans, and very seldom see anything good in February.
What should we expect after February based on the historical charts?
Historical charts in general start out anywhere during the month of February, and usually will around the 1st of March start gradually eating their way higher, and we'll get a rally that lasts anywhere from 3 weeks to 3 months based on that. Now, I don't want anybody to hold out their hopes that we're going to see a 3-month rally, but we could see a 2 or 3 weeks or a month of rally just based on the market being oversold and what the competition does. We've got some tremendous competition in the market right now from Brazil and Argentina, from the value of the dollar, from the price of gasoline and diesel fuel. All of those things are weighing on the markets, and some of them have to be done away with or out of the way before we expect very much in the grain markets.
Let's talk about a few of those things, and let's start in South America. How do you think South America specifically is weighing on markets here?
It's real interesting what's going on down there, because they had a presidential election as we are going to have a presidential election, and the South American farmers were sort of stockpiling soybeans as a hedge against the possibility that the market's going to react violently to the election. And in fact, the market didn't react violently to the election, and so the farmers have sort of stopped worrying about it and are dumping their beans on the market, and that's one of the reasons the market in this country is having a hard time working its way higher.
You mentioned the strength of the dollar. What relationship do you see that having against corn and soybean prices?
Well, I judge that based on the comparison to Canadian currencies, because Canada is the only other governmental entity that I really watch in terms of the effect on U.S. farmers, and it's almost a direct one-to-one correlation between the strength of the loonie, which is the Canadian dollar, and the price of soybeans especially, but soybeans and corn. And so the lower the strength of the U.S. dollar, the higher the value of the Canadian dollar, and most U.S. farmers, including me, don't really have much of a grip on that, but it's Canadian farmers, it's the most important factor they have.
Focusing more locally, do you think basis can improve here as we close out February?
One of the things that we've got working against us there, and I really don't know what the status of this is the last week or so, but there was a lot of out of condition corn because we had a really big rain right at the end of harvest, and a lot of corn was piled on the ground, and realistically that corn has got to be eaten through the system before there's much hope of the basis getting a lot better, because elevators that have grain stored on the ground and it got wet, they've got to deal with that before they're really very excited about adding to their inventory of corn and beans, but corn in general.
So as we close out, do you maintain a patient position right now, or do you have any price targets that you're starting to set looking out farther into spring?
Well, first of all, never sell grain in February. We've talked about that before, and I still believe in that. But also, I'd say the bin behind you is full of corn, and it's my corn, and basically when it gets to the point where the roads aren't so bad and we've got some time and can get a truck to haul it, probably around the first to the middle of March or late March is what I'll be looking for. And my corn is in good condition, and I just think you need to be thinking about moving it anytime you can generate appropriate cash flow, and you can get it out of there before it gets out of condition in the spring.